It's time to continue culling the collection, binning some Blu-rays, getting rid of films that I don't really want or need anymore in the collection. Let's take a look at the next shelf down, see what I can give the cut off of that shelf. So let's get into it. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to part 2 of my Culling a Collection series. The reason this has come about is every other week on a Saturday I drop a video called Desert Island Discs, or Desert Island Movies if you will, where I go through my collection self by self, have a look at what titles I have. And the one thing that this has highlighted to me is that there's a lot of dross, rubbish, waste, nonsense in the collection that I could easily get rid of. Not only that, there's the upgrades where I've got the standard Blu-rays but I've upgraded films to 4K, or I might have individual Blu-rays but I've since obtained a box set, hence some of the James Bond films from last time, things like that. Now I had a interesting comment because one of the films I threw out was a movie called, or I say threw out, was a film called 71. And they said, oh, you know, you're getting rid of that film, but yet you're keeping 47 meters down. Okay, so this isn't about how good a film is, because most definitely there are films that are far better than films that I'm keeping, films that I'd be getting rid of that are far better than films that I'm keeping. But it's about the rewatchability factor. Now with something like 47 meters down, you're talking about a shark film. I get enjoyment from certain shark films, and whereas I could agree that something like 71 is a far superior movie, it's not something that I would rewatch as much as I would rewatch that. Similarly, this year or last year we had Oppenheimer and we had The Flash, two films that were released. Now arguably, or it's not even arguably, it's without doubt, Oppenheimer is a far superior film to The Flash, you know, in every conceivable way. You know, script, acting, writing, sets, costumes, everything is far superior. Yet I would watch The Flash more than what I would watch Oppenheimer, because the rewatchability factor doesn't exist for me with that film, not as much as it would with The Flash. Just as an example of what I mean. So certainly there are films that are going to be, well, why would you get rid of that? And I'll see if I can justify the reasons as I go through, just to give you a bit of insight into the reasons why. Now, I can't bin, I can't throw away, I can't put this stuff into a bin. No way could I ever do that, because it's, you know, it's despicable. I find it despicable to actually bin art of any kind whatsoever, whether it be a book or anything like that. I could sell it to CEX, but I know that my return would be not even worth the time going down there with it. I won't get nothing for it. CEX doesn't want them. That's why they only offer you a penny for some of this stuff. They don't want you bringing it in. That's to deter you from bringing it in, because they don't shift them anyway. I could give them to a charity shop, but charity shops, the stuff really don't shift either, and they could end up in a bin anyway, which I would think would be tragic in itself as well, because I'm part of the pathway to getting to that bin without me putting it directly in myself. Another good idea that was put to me was maybe give to a library. So that's potentially something that I will be looking at for these films. As of the moment, the stuff that I've cleared off of the shelves, I've got in a pile to do with and get away with. I may revisit the pile, and if there's anything I consider keeping, I might just sort of take the you know, the films out of their cases and put them into a thing like that with the film in, and it clears up space. Now, the reason for me doing this, not other than the fact that, you know, it's highlighted a lot of stuff in the collection that I have as doubles and things like this, doing these videos, is that space is an issue as well, and I have considered the one in, one out approach. But I think that, you know, it was quite cathartic going through the two shelves and actually making a bit of space up there. And even though they still look full, there's most definitely, because I used to have stuff laid flat along the tops, I've created a considerable amount of space. So we're going to have a look at this shelf here behind me, and because there's quite a few sat down on top, and we're going to see what on that shelf we can sort of, for want of a better term, dispose of. So shall we start? Yeah, let's start and see what we've got. Okay, there we go. That should be a tad bit better. So we're going to go through this and we shall take a look at what we have and what films we shall keep and shan't keep. So where to begin? Okay, so let's start with this pile on top here. So we have a sticker on it. The film from 1984, Dreamscape. Yes, I know the sticker there. It's Dennis Quaid film. And is that Kate Capshaw in it? I believe so, yes. So that's a film from the, well, 1984, and it's not a bad film. It's a good film, so that's definitely one that is a keeper. Then we have Day of the Dead. I think this is the remake version. Who's in this? Ving Rhames, Mina Suvari, Nick Cannon. I can't remember that film, if it is any good or not. So should I create a maybe pile and then check them out? I do like the zombie genre. It is a bit overdone now, but so that'll go in the maybes. This film's a definite yes. Kurt Russell, Breakdown, 1997. Jonathan Mostow directed. It's a really good film, really good thriller. Kurt Russell's always, you know, like as if I could get anything rid of Kurt Russell. No chance. That's staying. Okay, I don't even have to. You know, I bought it for the pink case. I've never seen the film, and I'm not going to even bother watching it. So that's a goodbye. One that I haven't watched. Bleed for this. So that stays automatically because I will have to have watched it to. Well, I haven't watched Bridesmaids, and I'm getting rid of that. I'm contradicting myself there now, aren't I? Yeah. Bridesmaids, no, I'm not going to watch that. I'm going to attempt it. Then we have Buster Edwards with Phil Collins, Julie Walters, and a great soundtrack. Buster Edwards did have a flower stall. At the end of this film, you see him with a flower stall along the embankment, like the river. But he did actually have the flower stall, and it was outside Waterloo Station, which isn't as aesthetically pleasing as along the riverfront, and that's where he had it. I used to see him many a time. But that's one to keep. Like I said, it's got a good soundtrack. And again, one that's a keeper is Blind Fury with Rutger Hauer. That's not going anywhere. It is somewhat dated now, but it's a good film. Okay, here's one that is going to go. And simply because I have the 4K version of the film now. So it is a double of Barbarella, Queen of the Galaxy, Jane Fonda. Baby, Secret of the Lost Legend. This is one of my earliest film memories, but I don't like it. I didn't like it when I watched it on a rewatch, but it's one of the earliest memories I have of going to the cinema to see a film. So I think for that reason, There's a lot of nostalgia for it, that at the moment I will keep that even though I didn't enjoy it. Most definitely, I will keep Bone Tomahawk. Again, Kurt Russell, but it was a good film. Good film. Boss Level, a lot of fun. German copy there. So we're not getting rid of many this time round, are we? So that's a keeper. I hope we find some dross in a minute. Bad Lieutenant, Nicolas Cage one. I've not watched it, so automatically I will keep it, except for Bridesmaids. I'm doing bad at the moment. I've only got two to go, and that's pretty poor. Bridge of Spies, Tom Hanks, decent film. I would rewatch it, and this was a great film with Andrew Garfield. Andrew Garfield is a fantastic actor, and he was very strong in the performance in this film. And yeah, so I can't not keep that one. I can't not keep it. Oh, this is like, you know what? Oh, I don't know what we got here. What we got? Okay, Mark Wahlberg and Russell Crowe in Broken City. I did watch it, and I found it to be quite forgettable. So I'll say goodbye to that. I don't need that. Vince Vaughn and Jennifer Aniston in The Breakup. I like Jennifer Aniston. I think she's good. Decent actress, good comic timing. And I like Vince Vaughn. I like even though he's Vince Vaughn in pretty much everything he does, there's something about him and his manner that I like watching. And this is a film that, I'll be honest, I sort of go back to every so often. Then we have Blade Runner Black Lotus. It's a bootleg of the anime cartoon series, TV series that was set within the Blade Runner universe. So that's not going anywhere either. Blazing Saddles. Is it a racist film or isn't it? I don't care. It's funny as hell. So I'll be keeping that. I asked if it's a racist film or not. Gareth over at Video Tasty's done a poll asking as such. I said, no, I've got it. It's a lot of fun. He said that's exactly what a racist would say. Or a bigot would say. Tom Hanks in Big. Obviously, it's a keeper. Bruno. Sacha Baron Cohen. I like Sacha Baron Cohen stuff. It's always worth a laugh. And we have Jamie Lee Curtis in Blue Steel, which is a film that I quite enjoy. I like films from this era anyway, you know, from when I was younger. Filmed by Catherine Bigelow. So that's a keeper. So I've got rid of 3 films. I'm not doing good. I'm not doing good at all. Okay, so I have a 5 movie collection of Dragonheart, primarily just for the first film. I like the first Dragonheart film. I think it's a lot of fun. Great soundtrack as well. But yeah, so that's keeping. No, without a doubt. Black Panther is like an animated comic book. So that's I'll keep that as well. Bangkok Dangerous, £2. I have seen it. I like Nicolas Cage, but you know, come on. Bad Spies I haven't actually watched. I picked it up very cheap indeed. So that won't go anywhere. Becky, that's pretty good. I mean, you've got Kevin James playing against type in this as some nasty scumbag. They actually done a sequel to it as well, which is a film that I may have to end up bootlegging. Bad Teacher, that can go. Jude Law in Black Sea. I haven't watched it yet. I don't think I've seen that yet, so I'll keep that. Then we have Gerard Butler and Jennifer Aniston. I know I said I like Jennifer Aniston, but this is a pretty lousy film, to be honest. So that's another one to go. So I'm feeling a little bit better about stuff at the moment because I've got a few gone there. So what have we got down? Should we work our way? Yeah, I'll work my way. No, I'll work my way from this end. Work my way back. Okay. So first up, Baby Driver. Took me a while to get around to watching this film, and it was pretty good. So, you know, I had fun with it. Edgar Wright. Black Swan. Yeah, I'm keeping Black Swan. Don't care. I'm keeping that. Bad Boys 1 and 2 double pack. That's going. Getting rid of that. They're rubbish. No, I have a 4K set of all three Bad Boys films, so that's the reason why. No other reason than that. Then we have the movie Bait. Yeah, it's a bad film. This is the one set in the shopping centre with the sharks that come in from a tsunami. I'm keeping that. I used to watch that with my daughter. We had fun with it. Bloodfather with Mel Gibson. I didn't mind that. I quite enjoyed that, so that's a keeper. Then we have here, okay, Barely Lethal, which I hadn't ever seen, but with a cast like Haley Steinfeld is very good. Okay, Jessica Alba is, I don't mind her, and Sam Jackson, but he does anything, doesn't he? And I've watched it, instantly forgot it. Baywatch extended cut. Rubbish. It's rubbish film, isn't it? But I'm keeping it. I don't care. A Beautiful Mind. Great film. Not going anywhere. Ewan McGregor, Albert Finney, Big Fish. Probably my favourite Tim Burton film. Because it's story-wise, it's got a lot of story to it. More than what Tim Burton films generally have. Tim Burton films are very much style over substance, for me anyway. Well, they are. He's a great visual director, not too good at storytelling. But this is a great film. And I've got it on 4K, so we know what that means. It's a double. Beowulf, the director's cut. Okay, I've got another version of this. It was gifted to me by Jimmy over at Jimmy Boy's Movies. I think it is the DVD version. But what I might do with that is I might... It's a nice set. It's a nice set that he's got me. It's along the top. We'll see it in a video at some point. But I might transpose this into that set. Makes sense. I'd sort of downsize the space. So it'll go into the keep pile, but it will go into that. If that was a Blu-ray version, I'd get rid of that version as a double. But I'll keep it because that's a Blu-ray. And I can stick the Blu-ray in there. Then we have Big Game with Samuel Jackson. This is the one where he's the American president. And I don't really remember it. I remember seeing it on the side of a bus, and when it came out, I might give that another watch. Then we have Birdman, The Unexpected Virtue of Ignorance, Michael Keaton. That was a solid film. Bird on a Wire with Mel Gibson and Goldie Hawn. Again, a film from that era, that sort of Blue Steel era of films, that time frame when I was younger, and I really loved the Rent-In and all this sort of thing. And I haven't watched it for some time, so I will keep it. Then we have Black Water with Lundgren and Van Damme. It's a submarine film. I'm a big fan of submarine set films. However, the set for the submarine just looks like corridors in a darkened, abandoned warehouse or cheap sets. They're too doesn't feel like, they feel like normal corridors. I'm getting rid of that. Then we have Blood Diamond with DiCaprio. I'll say I'll keep that at the moment. I don't really remember it. What else do we have? Okay, we have Blood Rain 1, 2, and this is bad film. Yule Bowl. And it stars Kristanna Loken, who played the TX in Terminator 3. This has actually got a 4K release on the way in the United States. I don't know if it's out yet or if it's out later this month or if it's early February. But can you believe a film like this gets a 4K? We don't get something like Armageddon, The Rock, Con Air. I know they're Disney products, but you know what I'm saying? You get all these 4Ks and film like this gets given a 4K treatment. Anyway, they've done 2 sequels. Blood Rain 2 and Blood Rain 3. They're rubbish. But they're rubbish. I think I preferred the sequels to the first one. They're based on the game, aren't they? I'm going to put in the maybe pile simply because I think I preferred the sequels. Okay, the original Blob, definitely a keeper. Sorry, not the original Blob. This is the remake Blob from like 1980s. The original. What am I talking about? Blues Brothers. Great film, great soundtrack, classic 80s movie. Love it. It's going nowhere. And we have Blues Brothers 2000. Rubbish film. Half decent soundtrack, not as good as the first. I will keep that, but there we go. Roy Scheider in Blue Thunder. Blue Thunder's a keeper, without a doubt. I like Roy Scheider. Denzel, Book of Eli, wasn't bad. It was all right. And then we have the Bourne Collection. I will keep it. I've got the Bourne Identity on 4K, but so the first one could go. Keep the other 2. I could put one of the others in, but I'll keep it as it is at the moment. Okay, so the Bourne Legacy, I do actually have a steelbook for it as well. I picked up very cheap, so as a double, that one will hit that sort of thingy pile. Jason Bourne, the latest one. Not really a return to form for the character, but it's Jason Bourne. Obviously, yeah, I'm not going to get rid of it. Braveheart, goes without saying, a keeper. Oops. Brawl in Cell Block 99, a film where Vince Vaughn does have a bit of range and quite a bit of fun, quite violent. Buried with Ryan Reynolds, obviously that will be kept. Blackwater the Abyss, this is one of those sort of films. I said I like shark films, I like any sort of monster creature features, get a lot of fun out of them, and yeah, I haven't got the first Blackwater, but this is the sequel. I'll keep that. Then we have the Butterfly Effect trilogy, the 3 Butterfly Effect movies. Again, I will be keeping them. I'm not doing very good on this shelf. This is why I should go back again and see and have a second run through of the shelves. And on the second one, there might be some stuff that I could say, yeah, I'll get rid of that, get rid of that. I thought first time round I'd keep it, but now I won't. Babysitter and the Babysitter 2. This is a bootleg. Are these getting a Blu-ray release, or was that someone said that was called out as being not true? I don't know, but it's the bootleg anyway, so I'll keep it. Then we have Black Phone with Ethan Hawke. I actually really enjoyed this film. I thought it was really good. Really solid movie that came out that year. I think I put it in my top 10 if I don't recall correctly. Then we have Breathe In, which is a film that I haven't yet watched, so automatically it will stay because I'll give it a watch. And then this ain't a good film, but I'm going to keep it. It's the original Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Kirsty Swanson one, is it? Is that her name who was in it? Kirsty Swanson, Christy Swanson, Donald Sutherland, Paul Rubens, Rutger Hauer. TV series is miles better, but I like that cover. Nice cover. I think this was a French release for the film. What do we have here? Oh, Kim Basinger and Bruce Willis in Blind Date. Yes. I think that's recently had a release in this country, not too long ago. But I will keep it. Bill and Ted's Most Excellent Collection. Now I do have Bill and Ted 1 and 2 again. I've got Bill and Ted on 4K. I've got Bill and Ted Bogus Journey Steelbook. I bought this one because of the UK version of Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. And this is the only way that I've got Bill and Ted Face the Music, which is the weakest of the three, most definitely. It weren't great. I remember when CEX was selling this like 50 odd quid. This thing was hard to get a hold of. Yeah, it's a keeper anyway. Just for that last one. It's a Bad Santa. Inevitably, I'm going to keep Bad Santa. It's a good film. Bad Santa 2. I may have it as a Christmas watch again and then decide. Yeah, it weren't as good as the first one, nowhere near, but I'm not sure. Then we have here the Belko Experiment, and that is a film that I'd watch that again. It wasn't bad at all. And then we have The Big Hit, Mark Wahlberg. This was a film that I enjoyed when I first watched it years ago, and I had it on DVD, and I think I've still got the DVD somewhere in a jewel case release. But it's a film that I need to revisit. It's one of those ones that I need to revisit and make a decision on. And then we have Blonde, the Ana de Armas Marilyn Monroe movie. Bootleg, obviously, and I quite enjoyed the film. Yeah, I didn't mind it at all. I thought that would have been a nice one to get a Criterion release, but there we go. Then we have, okay, it cost me £1. I never watched it, and it's going to go down there with that other one in the pink case. I forget what it was called. So yeah, that's going in the pile. Then we have The Book Thief. So that one's gonna be kept. And lastly here we have Blood Creek from Joel Schumacher. I saw it years ago. I think that one might be, I don't think that one will be kept. So the shelf's looking all right at the moment. Consider it was completely filled up, but let's take a look. How it comes out when I put back on the bits that I said I would keep. Okay, so we're looking all right. I mean, I've cleared all of this space here. Okay, so I've got 4 films in the maybe pile. Like I said, I'll give that a rewatch. I know certainly I shouldn't be keeping them. I know I shouldn't be. I don't like throwing away foreign film when I've imported from a different country. Because they've never been available over here on Blu-ray. I don't know if this has since had one, but I don't like that idea for some odd reason. I don't know. Maybe that's something I've got to sort out. Do you know what I mean? In my mindset. So, and I know these are I shouldn't be, but there's something about films like this that are crap, and will they be hard to get a hold of one day? I don't know. Wait there, what's this here? Oh, I've got a few more. Sorry. I've got 4 more here that I put here and totally forgot about. So the first one is Battleship. Was it rubbish or wasn't it? I mean, it was, but was it fun? I don't know. I feel like that's one that I should give another rewatch to before I make a decision on it. Battle Los Angeles I actually enjoyed at the time when I first saw it. Aaron Eckhart's in it. I didn't mind it at all, so I would indeed keep that. Then we have Basic Instinct. Now I have this on 4K twice. I have the 4K Steelbook and the 4K Special Edition. Inside is my Basic Instinct 2. So what I should do is transpose the DVD of Basic Instinct 2 to one of them other releases, and that one as a double would be on the way out. And then we have Below. And this is made by David Twohy, who made Pitch Black. Stars Bruce Greenwood, who I think is a wonderful, wonderful actor, who was once in a TV series called Nowhere Man that lasted... it only lasted one season because interference from the studio made the makers reveal what was going on in the series, and when the reveal came about, audiences just left. It was such a mistake, but it was a great series, sci-fi element kind of thriller. But yeah, Bruce Greenwood, he played Captain Christopher Pike in Star Trek and Star Trek Into Darkness, the 2009 reboot film series. And it's set on board a submarine, which I like. It's a horror film essentially about a haunted World War II submarine, and yeah, it's a fabulous film. I do like it. Now obviously I said that I was going to keep these two. I forgot they were in front of me as well. So that's how the shelf looks at the moment. So I have created a bit of space, and I have here 1, 2, 3, 5 films there to go. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 off of that shelf, that I can sort of honestly say that, yeah, I can probably most definitely say goodbye to. Now, obviously, art is subjective, film is subjective, so there might be some titles there that you're going, oh, why would you get rid of that and keep that? A lot of it is more about a rewatchability factor rather than if the film is better than that film. See, I don't rank films. I don't give films a ranking out of 10, because inevitably when you've got a whole array of movies, like if I ranked all of my films out of 10, it's not going to make sense, because all of a sudden I've got this film over here that I've given a 7, and then I've got this film over here that years later I've given a 7. But when you actually compare them two films, well, they're nowhere near as good as one another. This sort of thing will inevitably come about. So yeah, but you know, that's not bad. That's not bad going. I'm quite happy. I'm quite sort of thrilled in a sense that I've created more space, because you know I've created some there along the tops there, along the top up the, you know, up there a few, and now I've got this here. So that's it. I'm going to leave it there because I'm going to do this bit by bit. I think that doing it more than once a week is excessive. It's going to be overwhelming if all of a sudden I've got a pile of 100 or so discs that I want to get rid of. So I'll do it bit by bit. It's not as impactful, and I can see change coming about, and that's a good thing. So again, in a couple of weeks time or a week's time, I'll be back and we'll delve into the next shelf of stuff here, and yeah, we'll take a look at that one, see if there's anything there that I can give the chop. Anyway, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. As usual, it's always good to spring clean, so to speak. And yeah, it's making me feel a little bit better, but baby steps, and we'll get there. Do you know what I mean? So anyway, that's it. See you all later. Thank you so much for indulging me and watching. I really do appreciate it. Please give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Maybe share it. Share it with someone. Why not? Someone who you may think might enjoy it. And also leave a comment down below. We'll reply to your comments, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care all, and goodbye.